Okay, welcome back again. I hope you can all hear me. Hello, can you all hear me? Okay, all right, thank you very much. Good morning once again. My name is Adefisayo Akisanya. I head the marketing communications team at Accion Microfinance Bank. And on behalf of the management of Accion, we would like to warmly welcome you to another episode of the Accion Konnect series. The Konnect series is a virtual interactive platform where we host different professionals, subject matter experts, and they come in to talk to us and provide resources on how we can improve our businesses and how we can thrive even amidst the pandemic. We've been getting a lot of interaction on the chat box, so I would like to address some of them very, very quickly. Still the same, the audio is muted. So I think we should quickly go through the housekeeping rules. So very shortly before the MD comes on, we would go ahead and deactivate the chat box. So what this means is you will not be able to send a message until the Q&A session. The reason why we're doing this is so that we can quickly collate the interactions during this period. Because if we leave the chat box open till the Q&A sessions, it would be very difficult to collate. So if you have any questions, a comment, interaction, advice, suggestion, recommendation, just note it down somewhere. And then when the chat box opens, I will tell us when it is open so you can send the messages there. Also, some of you have said that you cannot speak. The reason is because we have actually deactivated the ability to be able to unmute yourself. So you cannot unmute yourself until Q&A session. The reason why we've done this is so that we can have a smooth session and there's no background information or noise, distracting us. When we get to the Q&A session, like I mentioned, you would be allowed to unmute yourself and you can speak and you can do whatever you want to. So during the Q&A session, for us to get your interactions or comments, like I said, one of the options is to drop it in the chat box, which would keep open at that time, or you can raise your hand. So for you to raise your hand, you go down on the screen and you will see a button with a smiley face that says reactions. So once you click it, it shows, you see different emojis there, like smiley face, love, and everything. Just click the one that says hand up or clap or thumbs up. So once you click that, that means you want to speak and you want us to unmute you. So we'll then go ahead and unmute you. I hope we all understand that. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Olufemi Folorenshaw, thank you very much. I can see your questions, but we would really appreciate it if you could just keep the questions to the Q&A session. We will take all your questions during that session. Thank you very much. So like I mentioned, this is the Accion and Maybe Connect series. However, today's episode is specifically only for you business owners. You're very important to us, and that the management of Accion Microfinance Bank wants to connect with you and find out how you're faring during this pandemic, how you've been coping, what are your challenges, and then what we can do to support you to be able to continue to thrive. That's why I have in this. So only school owners are actually on this platform today. So we really appreciate you for taking time out to join us. Thank you very, very much. So very shortly, we're going to have the poll questions come up. If I can just have the poll questions come up right now. Admin, could you please have the poll questions up? So the poll questions are just few questions that we want to find out. We want you to tell us how you're, so that we can know how we can better support you. So they're just very few questions, I think about 7. We have 2 poll questions. We'll take one before the webinar and then after the webinar session. So please feel it as honest as you can be. I'll just quickly run through some of those questions. They're very simple, they're straightforward. It's about 7 of them. So the first question is, will you continue to run your school or would you like to move to another line of business? So are you considering that, okay, you don't want to do this school business, you want to move to another type of business? And then also, if you're thinking of doing that, please click yes. If no, that's fine. If you're thinking of moving to another line of business, you can also drop it in the chat box, what kind of business, what line of business you want to move into or you want to diversify. You're exploring that option. So like we all know, the pandemic has affected all of us, including the school business, the education sector. So we want to know what impact did the pandemic have on your business? Did some of you think that it did not affect your business? Was it a mild impact? Was it very severe? And we want you. So the third question is, have you requested for any assistance from the agency or any other agent, from the government or any other agencies? If you have, let us know. If no, let us know why. So if no, you have not requested, why have you not requested? Is it because you do not trust the process, or you think the process is too long, or you are not aware of it? Also, it will also be helpful. We would also appreciate if you could drop some of those agencies or government parastatals that you've reached out to for assistance. If you could just drop them in the chat box, and then we'll pick them from there. Thank you very much. So the fifth question is, when do you think your business will get back to normal? We all know right now that most businesses are struggling, and the school or the education sector is no exception. So what time do you think you need for the school to get back to normal? Are you thinking the first and the second quarter of 2021, which is between January to June, or you're thinking the second and fourth, sorry, you're thinking the third and the fourth quarter, or you don't even think, or you feel that this pandemic has really impacted and you don't think that your business could ever be normal again? Let us know, because if you don't know those things, we cannot support you or we cannot help you. We also want to find out how long do you think you require to repay your current loan. So do you need 6 months? Do you need 9 months? Do you need 12 months? Please fill it. We have over 123 people on this platform. We have only received 22 responses. It's really important that we fill this so that the management of Accion can understand the challenges that we're facing and they can come up with measures and support for these challenges. So please take those poll questions. Thank you very much. And then the seventh question is, do you require additional loan when school resumes in January? Do you think you need some loans, some funds to help you with your school resumption in January? So please let us know if it's yes or no. Thank you very much. Thank you. The numbers are increasing to 34. We have 125 people currently logged on. So we would really appreciate if we can get at least 80 to 90% of participation. Thank you very much. Like I mentioned, if the management do not understand the challenges we're facing, they will not be able to help you. So we need to understand the challenges that you're facing. I'd like to quickly go through the rules again. You may notice that you cannot unmute yourself. So you'll be able to unmute yourself during the Q&A session. If you want interactions, you can do that by raising up your hand. Like I mentioned, you scroll down, there's a smiley face, a smile face, like a round face. You click on it and then you see different reactions. So just click on the hand, meaning that your hand is up, and then we would then go ahead to unmute you so that you can ask your questions or drop your suggestions. You can also drop it in the chat box as well. Galaxy is saying you can't hear me. I hope every other person can hear me as well. I hope that's not internet connection. Sorry about that. So we'll just give a few more minutes for us to take the poll questions. Thank you very much. So we have about 55, it's even up to 50% that have taken the polls. Please, it's really important that we get your feedback on some of these questions so we understand how to better support you and what are your pain points. Please take them, please. So without any further ado, like I mentioned, I think we can just go into the session. Please, while the MD still comes up, please kindly ensure that you still take the poll questions, please. It's really, really important for us to be able to get as many feedback as an interaction as possible. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm seeing some interactions here. Joy Nzeyi from Synod School, you would like to go into fishery, rabbits, poultry. Thank you very much. Okay, so I can go on number 4. You say you have a challenge with number 4. So number 3 is, have you requested for, during this pandemic, this year, have you requested for any assistance from any government or any other agency? So if you have requested, drop the name of the agency or the government in the chat box. If you have not requested, we want to find out why you have not requested. So one of the options is you do not trust the process, you think the process is too long, or you're not even aware of any. Okay, all right, so So Farvale Schools, we can see your questions. The MD will take your questions and interaction during the Q&A session. So thank you very much. Thank you. We have over 50% that have taken the full question. Please keep them coming. It's really, really important that we get your feedback and your thoughts. Thank you very much. So like I mentioned earlier, today's episode is really, really special because it's specifically for OU school owners. The MD and the management of Accion Microfinance Bank wants to connect with you and find out what are your challenges, your pain points, and how we can better support you. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome our MD CEO, Accion Microfinance Bank, in person of Mr. Taiwo Joda.
Thank you very much, Fisayo. And good morning, our dear customers across the globe. Wherever you are in Nigeria, we're happy you're able to join. I'd like to say good morning and compliments of the season. No doubt, this year has been a very, very challenging year for every one of us, for businesses, for even our mental health. We've lost loved ones. We've lost people who are very close to us. And I sympathize with families who have lost loved ones. So we've had a lot of challenges this year. But we're still very hopeful because we know there is hope for a living lion better than a living dog better than a dead lion. So we're hopeful, we're alive, and we'll pray that next year will be a better year for all of us. So I want to warmly welcome you. I know you've taken time out of your very busy schedule to attend, and I deeply appreciate that. Like it has been earlier said, this interactive session is to know how to better serve our customers who are running schools. We've had series of engagements with the SMEs, and I think at a point we had to bring in some subject matter experts to help our SMEs to navigate and to teach them how to weather the challenge that we find ourselves in the current environment. We also remember the NSAS protest in October that disrupted individual businesses. Unfortunately, we have a customer whose school was razed down by the rioting mobs. So it's been really challenging, it's been tough. And our heart goes out to that customer whose school was burnt down by the hoodlums. We'll pray that you will bounce back very quickly and very fast too. Let me continue our discourse by pleading with us that the pandemic is still on, please. And it is important for us because one of the things that can kill a business is living in ignorance or living in denial. I read in the news this morning that a whole school has to shut down again, and that will be the second school because they found out that quite a number of pupils in that school contracted the coronavirus. So they had to go home, the school had to be shut down. Earlier on, about 2 months ago, there was another school in Victoria Island that had to shut down. So it is important for us as school owners to know that, not just to know that the pandemic is not over, but to know the enormous responsibility that rests on our shoulders as school owners to keep to the NCDC rules when our children get back to school. And I pray that you will not have any problem in Jesus' name. It is important we keep safe. It is important we ensure our children keep the social distance that is required. It is important that we have hand sanitizers in school, or we encourage our children to wash their hands. And at times you might require, after a long holiday, especially the Christmas holiday, that parents that are coming back should try as much as possible to do a test for their children before they come back to school. Some of these things are important because it has been discovered that some children and individuals are asymptomatic. What it means by asymptomatic means they will not show the symptoms, but they are carriers. And so they can affect vulnerable people who are easily susceptible to the carrier, even though they won't be affected, they won't show the symptoms of the coronavirus. So please, I'll plead again that we don't take it lightly. Don't wish it away. Let us keep staying safe. Let us take responsibility. Let us adhere strictly to the rules. Today in Nigeria, over 22,562 cases have been recorded, and death has climbed up to 220. So as we pray to God to continue to protect us, it is in my heart, because I know you are school owners, that you take these things very seriously. Even when schools are fully resumed, God forbid, if there is an incident in your school, you'll be asked to shut down and the pupils go home. So please, that would be my opening remark, that pandemic is still around. Let's not lose our guard. Let us ensure that necessary precautions are taken. As at November 2020, the total number of school owners that we have in Accion Microfinance Bank is 1,585. We doubt whether there is any other microfinance bank in Nigeria that have given out loans to that number of school owners. And that's 1,585 customers has a total loan portfolio of 775.4 million. And that's a huge size of our portfolio. That is why we're very important in your welfare. We're very important in what happens to you. So out of those ones, when the pandemic started, and there are some school owners who came around and said, we know you are giving moratorium, but we don't need moratorium. So they paid off their loan. And when they paid off their loan, these are 353 school owners. We also extended we extended some incentives to them, so that the new loan they took, we reduced the interest rate for them, because we know it's difficult for schools. Schools were the first to be shut, and even up till now, schools have not fully reopened. And where schools have reopened, the schools that have reopened, even parents are still begging for time to pay. So we know these things are real challenges that are going on. Over 2,342 schools, including so many of us here, benefited from our Social Responsibility Act, when in the first 150 days, we did not charge interest on school loans. So we gave moratorium for 150 days, and we did not charge interest. I got some news from my colleagues that the system did not capture some school loan product very well. So those schools that the system did not capture their product as school loan and capture it as like a regular loan, those schools were charged interest. And we said for such schools, we have collected them and said those money will be returned back to them once we verify that you're a school. And maybe when the booking was done, instead of putting it as a school loan, they put it as working capital or term loan or something else. So we're looking at that, but schools that were given moratorium for 150 days at zero interest rate were 2,342. Now, people don't really understand the import of that. But what it means is that, and I'm very open with you, Accion is not making any profit this year because of those steps we have taken. So what it means is that the people who gave us money to lend to you, we're still paying them interest over that 150 days, and we're not charging you any interest. At the last count, the total money we had written off on interest because we charged you at 0% for 150 days was $175 million that will have been income from over 2,342 customers over 5 months. But the board consider it and management consider it our own role to partner and play with schools so that your school does not go under, so that you will continue in business. And we expect that by the time business is fully back, you will reciprocate by continuing to do business with us. And you will reciprocate by repaying your balance of your loan on time and quickly too. Because we believe one good turn deserves another. So today, 425 school loan customers have fully repaid their loan after moratorium. And if you are here and you're listening to me, you're one of the 425. We want to say a big thank you for paying good with good, for reciprocating the good gesture. Thank you very much. We are deeply appreciative of your gesture. And it is people like you that encourages us to continue to reach out and do what is right and proper and to be our brother's keeper in a very difficult and trying times like this. We do care and support, and that's why we're having this series. So even know how we will further help you and we will further support your business. Also, the question here, I hope a lot of people will answer it because it will help us to determine how to proceed with you as a business and how to help you as a business. In the new year, we hope to take some, based on the analysis, we will be arranging for free training program for school owners on how to navigate the challenge of the reopening schools and how to stay profitable and to do your business in a sustainable manner. That is going to be free. We've done it for SNA customers over 2 days. We even gave them certificates of attendance. We also, in some cases, those who participated very well, we are giving books on how to drive their business. It was very interactive and a lot of questions were asked and answered. And the testimonial was very encouraging. People were happy. So we'll extend that to school owners. We want to be there for you, want to help and hold you, and want to ensure that you survive this period. The moratorium at zero interest we gave ended in September. And so we started charging interest in October. And you will all agree with me that the 150 days is really a very, very big sacrifice, a huge sacrifice to our customers. Even as I speak to you, the senior management staff of Accion, also because of the pandemic, had to take some form of cuts in their salary. But we felt that the customer has to survive for the business to survive. But unfortunately, we cannot push it more than the 150 days. And we thank again those who understand this gesture and have repaid their loan. And my appeal will be to every other person who has not repaid its loan that make efforts to repay your loan. It is in our best interest so that you can always come back and have loans to take to run your business. We won't want to disrupt anybody's business, but if you don't repay your loan after all the good gestures, then we're not left with any option than to report you to CBN, to report you to the credit bureau, and nobody will be able to deal with you and give you loan. We know that will be injurious to your business. We don't want to take that route. And so we encourage you, we've shown very good faith, and you will all agree with me, we encourage you to repay. Now, I don't want to talk for too long. I want to listen and learn from our customers who are school owners. Probably there are certain things we have not done that you think we should have done. We'll be glad to hear you, and we'll see how we can bring that onto our business to be able to serve you better. Or there are certain things you think we're doing and we should continue to do. So please, there is no question that is stupid. Don't be timid to ask any question. I promise to provide very open and honest answer as much as possible. And where I cannot provide an answer, I can get your details, go and research, and then my colleagues will get back to you and provide an answer. So I may not have all the answers to your question today, but as much as I have an answer, I will provide the answer. And when we need to go back and get the answer and come back to you, we will definitely do that. And in that instance, you can please just drop your phone number and your location or your email address if you want, and then we definitely will get back to you. So I don't want to take our time. We'll just go straight into the question and answers. It is your day today, our dear customers. And once again, we thank you, we appreciate you. I will believe 2021 will be a beautiful year for us. Thank you. So I hand over to Fisaya.
Thank you very much, MD. Okay, so our dear customers, so we've gotten to the Q&A section. You will notice, you might have noticed that you try to send in one or two messages in the chat box and you're unable to. Like I mentioned earlier, that was because we deactivated the chat box. But now the chat box has been reopened, so you can drop your comments, your questions, your recommendations, your complaints as well. If you have any issues or complaints with our service or any of our staff, please let us know. You can just drop it in the chat box. I also mentioned that if you would like to speak, if you do not want to drop it in the chat, please go ahead and raise your hand. For you to raise your hand, you scroll down a bit. Okay, I can see Patrick. I will get back to you shortly. You scroll down a bit and then you see an emoji, a smiley face, which there's reaction written under it. You click it and then you see a couple of options there. Just use the one that looks like a hand, a thumbs up or a wave. Just do any of those. So I can say thank you. So Patrick and Nato, I would go ahead and take your questions very, very shortly. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Patrick, you've been asked to unmute, so I hope you can hear me.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Patrick Mbama.
Good morning, Mr. Patrick.
Morris International School at Jiglule Apapa.
Okay, thank you for joining us. We can hear you.
Yeah, before I start, we are the school that accept recyclables, plastic cartons for school fees in Ajiglone. My question is there a way Accion, Accion is really doing a good job. I really appreciate the efforts and everything they are doing for schools. But I'm thinking, is there a way Accion can allow schools to or help schools acquire properties? I know loans are enough, but it's not really enough to grow schools to a large extent. I'm thinking if Action Bank can help us acquire property, use that property as a collateral, while the school owner pays back over a period of time. I don't know if it is possible, and that will really help a lot of so-called small schools grow faster and provide better services to to the to their customers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick. Please, can you mute yourself? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick. Yes, there is a way, and we have helped quite a number of customers. What you need to do is get in touch with your account officer or the branch that is closest to you. Some of our customers who have educational loan also have what is called a housing loan. Now, we give these loans for people to either expand their school, they use it to build and equip their laboratories, to increase the number of classrooms. So we allow that and we give that loan, Mr. Patrick. And however, we don't give the loan for you to buy land. We don't. And that is not what the loan is designed for. Because we don't want to get involved in government acquisition, Amonile or no Amonile. So for us to participate, you must have bought the land, and we will see that the titles to the land you have are genuine by going to conduct a search on the land. Once we conduct a search on the land and we see the land as genuine, then we can begin to give you small loans in installments to lay the foundation, to pay back, then you raise it to lintel, you pay back. But for those who have existing classrooms and they have compound and they want to increase it, people have assessed the loan, some up to 6 million, some up to 4 million. Some people have taken it like 2-3 times. So they take the initial one, they pay down, they come back and take and continue to do the construction and the renovation. It is even available for renovation. You can renovate your school. It's also available for you to put, maybe because of the pandemic, you want to increase the number of convenience, toilet, bathroom, you want to improve on the hygiene. This kind of loan is available for that purpose. Thank you, Mr. Patrick, again.
Thank you very much, MD. So I would like to take some of the questions from the chat box. I would like to ask if my maximum loan amount could be upgraded. Sorry, just a second. I think I'm not. Okay, so thank you very much. So just want to quickly mention, I can see some interaction. Some people saying that they joined in late. Not to worry, we are recording this session and then we would host it on the bank's website and then you can download it from there. So in case you've missed anything in the beginning, you have access to the entire session. Also, would like to encourage you to please ensure that your personal details is well updated with us through your account officers in your branch. So please ensure that your email address is included in your database that we have, because we're also going to be sending out emails, regular emails to school owners. So before we go ahead, I also like to mention, like the MD said earlier, that we would be giving out 5 copies of the corporate governance book to the top 5 people that joined us earlier today. We would highlight the names and we would share it to them before the end of the session. So I have Enato Ashe. So I'd go ahead and unmute Enato.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. We can hear you.
Good morning, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much for the interaction section. I think what I had to say is also with relation to what Mr. Patrick said, but I've understood the explanation so far. But what I would have added is there a way where loans can be extended, that the payments should be extended to about 4 to 5 years, so that we'll be able to pay conveniently and also do major projects at our school. Like for instance now, it is not difficult for me to pay any amount of money from 5 but also need a little extension of time from 1 year to 4 to 5 years before I'll be able to, so that it affects my earning and also to upgrade my standard. I think hello, sir. I think the reason why
Mr. Nato, we can hear you, but we're actually struggling to hear you.
Hello. Okay. So please, I want this situation where our loan facilities can extend from 4 years to 5 years. If we let this go around like 6 million.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nato. I think we got that. You want to confirm or request or ask if the loan can be extended for 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Enato. Now, I want to be clear on which of the loans you're talking about. So if it is the housing loan, I think at the moment we give up to 2 years, 3 years for the housing improvement loan. But for the school loan, we cannot do up to that tenor that you have asked. And that is why when we input your details into our system, the risk algorithm will tell us what they think based on your cash flow, what they think you can pay over the period of certain months. But if the pandemic had affected your business, and that is the reason why you are calling to say, we would like to restructure my loan. We may not be able to do for up to 5 years or 4 years because we are under the regulation of the Central Bank of Nigeria. And the Central Bank of Nigeria does not allow us to do long-term loan. But I will encourage you to please visit your branch. I think I heard you said you are in Ikorodu, but wherever you have, visit your branch and seek to speak to the area manager. The area manager will advise you on how much time we can give you based on the restructure of the loan. Now, also, because of the structure of the loan, we don't encourage people to keep the loan for too long because the interest will be too much. It will be so much of a burden on you to repay. What we can assure everybody here, and those who are not even able to join us, is that we will always refinance you. We will, if you repay, if the fear is that when I pay, I may not have access to another loan, you can always be assured that Accion Microfinance Bank will stand by you. Once you finish paying and you apply for a new loan, it will be given to you. So we won't want to run foul of the directives of the Central Bank of Nigeria by saying you can do 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years. No, we're not able to do that for the school loan. But for the housing loan, which is for development of the property of your own, you can have it for up to 24 months and even 36 months. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So just take some questions and interactions from the chat box, then we'll go back to people speaking. So from James Adeye Osatui, Accion has been wonderful. From Bello Bilkis Omobalande, I say a very big thank you here from Foundation Nursery and Primary School, Abeokuta. As you appreciate us, God will appreciate you. We have a couple of questions regarding restructuring, and I think MD has some of those. Thank you. Okay, from Anis in June, good morning and thank you so much for this forum to discuss with school owners. My name is June Anisin from Toddlers Private School, Akuda. I personally do not have any complaints at all, as Accion has been good to me. Thank you. So I'll just quickly go through another one. Okay, from Titi Lokbe, Accion MFB should stop the compulsory 10% contribution for at least 20 to 21 academic sessions. So I think this is a suggestion or recommendation, considering that we are in recession and COVID-19. This is from Temitope Balogun and just the great schools.
Mrs. Temitope Balogun, it will have been a nice suggestions I want to embrace. But you know, why do we ask for that? You call it compulsory. Remember, it's still your money. And after repayment, you can have access to the money and take. But why, at the beginning of the pandemic, I'll tell you, in April, when there was initial shutdown, you know, for customers, we are happy that they even have that money as reserve because most of them call that funds to be able to repay their loan that is outstanding. And they were happy that, oh, we made that decision to ask them to keep that money as a savings, as a compulsory savings. Now, whether there is a pandemic or not, we must still encourage ourselves to save. So it's going to be, we're not going to likely ask you not to put that equity because it's also demonstrate capacity. Now look at it this way. You want 100 naira from someone and the person says, show me you can manage 100 naira by showing me you have 10 naira. That's just basically what that thing is. So if the bank is giving you 6 million, we said for you to deserve 6 million, we want to be sure that you can even manage a 600,000. And that comes very important for us at this time, especially now. It is even now that the pandemic has come that we need to be very careful about how we give out loans so that people don't borrow above their limit or above their capacity. So that compulsory 10% is to make sure that people are not borrowing above their capacity. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll go back to the participants that have raised their hand. So I have Joy. Go ahead and unmute Joy. Hello, good morning. We can hear you. You've been unmuted. It's a large school.
Okay. Yes, good morning. I'm so happy for the interactive section. I'm so glad for the CEO for how he answered the questions, because I know that is also my worry on how to meet the bank to structure my loan.
Madam, your freezing must be your network.
Yes, I think so too.
But I heard the question is about the restructure of your loan. Please go to your branch, ask to speak to the branch manager. If you're not getting the desired level of comfort, please ask for the area manager, and every area manager has been mandated and instructed to make their funds available. And they will be willing to discuss with you and take you through the process of restructure. Thank you.
Olabode also indicated interest to speak, so I'll go ahead and unmute Olabode.
Okay, Mrs. Olabode.
So Olabode, even ask to unmute yourself.
Morning. Hello. 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 Good morning.
Good morning, madam. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning. We can hear you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Please, I just want to ask a question. I just took a loan recently, and I want to use it to complete my building. But the money wasn't enough, but they said they're going to place me on this housing loan. But on the housing loan, if I want to collect the first amount, how much am I going to collect? How much is it going to, how much are they going to give me for the housing loan?
Thank you, Mrs. Olabode. Honestly, most of the things we do is digital. So the system has to pre-qualify you. So I can't tell you that this is how much you will collect or how much you cannot collect. We've had people who have taken 1 million. We've had people who the system said we can give up to 3 million. It depends on your capacity to repay the loan. So for example, if we give you, if the system looks at the cash flow from your school, how much loan you have, and how much you have available to service other, to service the loan, the housing loan, and to do the running of your school, pay staff, then the system will say, oh, based on the cash flow of this school, we are qualifying them for maybe 1 million, maybe 2 million, maybe 3 million, maybe 6 million, maybe 10 million. So the system has a lot to play, and how buoyant your school is, and how much pupils and income you make is also all goes into determining that. So I will advise that just go to call your account officer or visit our closest branch and said, I've heard about the housing loan. Please, how much, based on my record with you and my account statement, how much can I take? And the beautiful thing is that even if your project requires 10 million and the system says you can only take 4 million, take the 4 million, build it to where the 4 million will. By the time you repay, The system has pre-qualified you for an amount higher than that 4 million. And gradually, you will have the school of your dream. So it's going to be a marathon. I'm not promising it's a dash. We're not a commercial bank that can just give you 50 million to go and do property business. But we can help you to achieve your dream. I hope I answered Mrs. Debayo's question. Thank you.
Thank you, MD. So you talked about the process being digital. So I'd just like to use this opportunity, maybe about 1 or 2 minutes, to quickly catch our customers up to speed on some of our digital initiatives recently. So when we started out, we had a screensaver at this session. We had a screensaver that talked about a brighter loan. So the brighter loan is our digital loan, and it gives you access to apply for a loan as little as 50,000 naira, between 50,000 to 100,000 naira at the convenience of your home. So you do not have to come to the branch before you have access to that. And then yes. And then you can pay for about between 1 to 3 months. We also have our USSD 572 has also been revamped. I'm sure your account officers must have been telling you about it. The 572 is the bank's official USSD code, and you can do so many things with that code. You can buy airtime for yourself or for a third party, for family and friends. You can pay your bills. You can do so many things on those platforms. We also have the mobile app. Our mobile app has also been revamped. You can download the mobile app on the Play Store, the Google Play Store, or the Apple Store. You can download it. All you need to do is just put in your details, your phone number and password. You also need to register. So it would ask you for some questions like your address, your BVN number. You input those things and then you're automatically registered, and you can do so many transactions there as well. So you have access to your account. You can transfer funds, view what is going on in your account in inter-transfer and extra transfer. So we also have the internet banking, which is the iBanking platform. It's similar to the mobile app, but to access that, you just go to iBanking, not accionmfb.com. We would ask the tech people to put it on the screen as well. And then also the bank has partnered with Jumia to onboard some of our customers that would like to sell on that e-commerce platform. So if you have friends and families that sell products and they would like to partner with us and Jumia would like to put their products on Jumia, please let them know what Accion is doing. Thank you very much. So if you have any other questions for some of those digital products, please just drop them in chat box. We would pick them up from there. Thank you very much. So I want to go ahead to, yes, just to reiterate, the brighter loan is actually between 50,000 to 150,000 naira. That's what I said. And there's the repayment period is between 1 to 3 months. All right, thank you very much. So you don't have any stress in terms of, oh, I don't want to move my funds into Accion because I don't have access, I can't take my money out. No, we have the same services that the commercial banks have in terms of giving you easy access to your phone. So you don't have to come to the branch to do an e-transfer. You can do it on your phone, very easy. And then if you have data, you can go to the mobile app. And if you don't have data, you can use the 572, which one? You can do that one on a normal feature or Palasa or Torchlight phone. Very, very easy to do. And then also would like to remind you, please do not share your personal information, your PIN, your account information, your PIN number, the PAN number, the CCV number behind your card. Do not share with anybody that's not your account officer. Please, Accion Microfinance Bank would not ask you for these details over the phone. If you have received any SMS or email or anybody has approached you that the person is not your account officer and they've asked for all this information, please swiftly report to your account officers. Thank you very much. So I would go ahead and unmute. I see a lot of hands up. We will try and get to everybody. I see Fumi, Fajemileyin, Obodo Beauty, everybody. So right now, I would go ahead to unmute Obodo Beauty to take our question. Thank you very much. We're still taking comments and interaction in the chat box as well. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Madam, yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello,
Yes, we can hear you.
can you hear
We
me?
can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I have 3 questions. I want to first and foremost thank you very much for this platform. The first one is with your pool right now. If the answer to question 3 is yes, question 4 does not make provision for you to proceed because you need to answer something there for you to be able to proceed. But if you have answered a yes, then you don't have an option in that question 4. So maybe you need to check what is there. That's that. Then the second one is that if a customer wants to crash a loan before the approved term, there's always a challenge. And I have not been happy about that because most times when my school takes loan, we've been with you for some time. When my school takes loan, I just project, not, I don't want to default. That's why I project a long period of time. But I notice that I can always pay up before that time. And that's what I always want to do. But for every time I try to pay up before that time, it's not recognized. And I go through a lot of stress to ensure even when I pay the due amount with the full interest, like the last one I did before the COVID pandemic, I paid with the full interest. I just said, close this thing. I don't want to continue. But they left it on, and I had to come to the head office to make a noise, which I don't like. I've taken another one now, and I asked them, is there possibility? Yes, they told me I requested for 2 years. It's been granted and everything. But I asked, can I crash this loan anytime I feel I should crash it? They said I must have to wait until 60% have been paid and the other interest. What other banks do is that when you crash loan, you don't have to pay all the interest left. But I was told that I'll have to wait until 60% of the loan is done, making me to stay on with something I could clear up. And whenever I need loan again, I come to you. So I think people need to review something about your crashing process and the interest after crashing. I think your bank needs to review something about that. I'm not asking to do that now. And then the last one is, for this new loan I just took, they are requesting for the new check leaves, which the banks have not made available, and they are putting my school under pressure. The banks have not printed the check booklets, and I'm just feeling bad that I took this loan because I've been a customer. I've not owed you. I've paid up even before your time. And I am saying the bank had not produced the check booklets. My guarantor is credible and they are just on me, and I'm feeling really bad. I feel like even returning the loan, the money I took. If not that your process says I cannot pay back until 6 months. And I don't also want to pay that interest without using the loan. If not, I would have returned the loan immediately because of the pressure they are putting on my guarantor and making me look as though I am not credible. I'm making my guarantor look as though we are doing something that is odd. I told them from the beginning, if CBN says there's the need to print new check booklets, there's a time given. Uh, some banks are waiting for you to exhaust the old check leaf before they give you the new check booklet. And CBN says till January. So why can't they be patient? I even told them till next week. They are just harassing me and I'm feeling really bad. I won't lie to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Obodo. You've spoken very well. I will start from the last one. So our intention is not to harass. Please drop your phone number in the chat box. I'll get the Chief Commercial Officer, Ms. Sandobu Sanoha, to call you and discuss about the last item. So I apologize if you feel very embarrassed. It's not our nature, especially for a customer that has demonstrated a mettle over time. We appreciate your patronage over the years. Most times when CBN, because we're a big microfinance bank, CBN and NDIC, they don't leave us alone. Most times when they come, what they tell the customers is different from what they come to do when they check our books. They look at it, and let me give you an example. You have taken a loan for 2 years. The requirement is that you give post-dated check for 2 years. So the old check you have given beyond January to February, March, April. When CBN comes, they look at us and said, why are you still taking checks that are post-dated to February, March, April, or May? And we have told you people that by January, this check will not be applicable. So you see, we are stuck with those checks. Now, some customers even take advantage of that because they know you are stuck with a check that you cannot use again. They play games around it. So most times it's difficult to isolate and want to treat situations differently from the others. And I do sincerely feel bad, and I apologize that rubs off negatively on you. I do apologize that, but we are constrained at times because of the regulatory demands. Also, there are other finance institutions, microfinance banks that CBN will not bother to even visit in 2 years. But for us, every time someone will come in to check that we're doing the right thing and we're complying fully. So I'll get a senior person to talk to you, madam, and we will find a way around that. Now to your second question, I'm happy to inform you that we've had that complaint over time. And effective 1st of January, there's a significant change that will come. You can pre-liquidate your loan, and the interest charge has also been drastically reduced for us to pre-liquidate our loan because we know a lot of people wants to pre-liquidate for several reasons. So we are going to treat you as an individual. We're going to treat you as a person. And that's your second question was actually discussed. Interestingly, we had a board meeting yesterday, and that was one of the issues that was discussed at the board. And the decision that was taken is actually in favor and in direction of what you have asked for. So once again, I want to thank you for staying with us, please. And I regret the frustration. Please keep faith with us, and my colleague will speak to you, and we will resolve those issues that I did not enough. Thank you so much, Mrs. Obodo.
Thank you, MD. I'd like to take some questions and interactions from the comment section. From Socrates School in Ikorodu, Agbede, I say very big thanks to the management of Accion Microfinance Bank. Though the pandemic really affected everyone in the country, but thanks be to God that we survived. In respect to my loan, I have paid half of the loan I collected. Though I got the cash from other stream of income, I will surely pay the half in the next few months. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you. What is important is when you know that you are not, because of the pandemic, you need some additional months. Please don't know it in your mind. Communicate it to your account officer and the bank. Like I said, get to speak with the branch manager, get your area manager involved so that we can tidy up your book. And it's for your benefit. You see, because when loans are due for repayments and you don't communicate to us, and you just have it in your mind, I'll pay when I'll pay, and it's not properly restructured, what happens is that you'll be earning, there's going to be penalty on that loan. That's number one. Number two is that it spoils your appraisal. So maybe you're an A customer and you have AA, and as an A customer, you're supposed to have a higher niche loan, a higher loan amount. But because of that 1 month non-payment, 2 months delay, it's going to affect your credit rating. If it affects your credit rating, it affects how much loan you can take again. In fact, we have different categories. We have A customers, we have B customers, we have C customers, and we have customers on reject. Now there are customers who, rather than talk, keeps quiet, though they have good intentions to repay, and the system puts them on reject. So when they eventually repay their loan, the system says you cannot deal with this person again. And that is because you did not communicate, you didn't tell us to come and restructure your loan. And that's why we're having this meeting, so that we can continue to do the business together. It is very important for us. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll take another question from the comment box. Good morning. Thank you, MD. In case a school is severely affected by the pandemic, okay, I think that's the person's school. Majority of the pupils left, 5 of their teachers left, parents pay slowly. Please, I'm asking if the bank can give grace to have extension to payment. I am having the same experience. Mr. Ashidi Ezekiel Ibukun, King's Glory School.
Yes, and I think this speaks to what we've been discussing. The whole world experienced a pandemic that is there's not been none like it in our lifetime, at least. None of us alive today could have said we experienced something of this magnitude. So yes, schools have been affected. Not just schools, businesses have been affected. Even salary earners have been affected. I have been affected. Everybody has been affected. So we're willing to look at your business and see how best we can support you, even if we have to extend your loan. And that's why I'll keep saying, please don't keep this to yourself alone. Reach out to your account officer. If your account officer is not showing the level of understanding that you require, please reach out to the branch manager, and please, you have the right to ask the branch manager for the area manager's telephone number, and the branch manager is obliged to give you. Please, we have our call lines that you can call, and we will put the number here again. If you are treated in a way that you don't like, please call the call center, and the call center will handle it. So please, you have a right to area managers, you have a right to branch managers. Let them know this is the challenge that I have, and this is how I think I can repay. And then we will sit down and agree together with you and work out a repayment plan. Thank you.
Thank you. From Praise Somtochukwu Okoye, I want to say a big thank you to Accion, more blessing. Shutongwa Motayo, when is the training going to commence? We would notify you, so please ensure that your information with us is well updated. So ensure that we have your email addresses as well. You can do that through your account officer. We will send out communication via email, SMS, and through your account officers and the branch managers as well to you. So please, they would follow up with you on that. If you're not following us on, the bank is on social media as well. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and we're on LinkedIn. So you can also follow us and send us a direct message, send us a complaint, ask any questions. All your complaints and comments and interactions comes directly to the head office, and we would handle that. Thank you very much. So we'll take some questions now. So I want to go ahead and unmute Nimota.
Why not?
Hello, Nimota. Can you hear us? Flourish, please unmute.
Okay, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Flourish.
All right. Yes, thank you very much. My name is Flourish from Tehila International School, Ibejuleki. Okay, I think most of the questions I wanted to ask have been asked and then answered too. One of the question was this repayment of loan. Um, I took the loan last year, and my first payment was in January, which I think that period I had almost all the money with me. I took about 400 and something. So my payment was about five something. So I had all the money and I went to the bank and then I pleaded with them to, if I can pay everything, which they said no. And I was really worried because I wanted to like pay everything. Of course, the money I was expecting before I took the loan just came in. So I wanted to just clear that so that maybe subsequently I can take a loan again. But they said no. So I cleared the first batch. It was for 3 term, first term, second term, and third term. So I cleared the first one, which was for that January. And then before the pandemic, of course, we all know how the pandemic affected every one of us. The money was also touched and everything. I was really angry because I think I wanted to clear the loan before the pandemic, but which they said no. The bank branch at Bogije said no, they don't do like that. I said okay. So during the pandemic, like I said, the money was touched and every other thing. So I just paid the second one now as we resume school. Thank you very much to the bank manager for at least giving us the 150 days. I was really happy. In fact, during that pandemic, I was really scared how nothing was happening, no school, everywhere is shut down. How am I going to pay the loan? I even ran to the branch and then asked them, which they said they've given me a moratorium or something, and I was really glad. I was really happy. So as we resume now, I've just paid the second batch. But my main question now is, since I have paid the first and second hand, remaining the third one now, can the bank still, since we're still in business, so we still need money to still push forward, can the bank still can you still take loan to still help your business push forward so that of course you can still pay back the third leg? So that is my question, which, like I said, most of the questions have been asked and then answered by the MD. So I wouldn't go into all of that again. But I think this one has not been asked. So that's why I'm still asking it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Flourish, and thank you for appreciating us. we are working out a product, and it's good you asked the question. The product will be ready soon, by the grace of God, in the first quarter of 2021. And that product is called Loan Top Up. So the Loan Top Up allows you to, even when you have not finished paying all your loans, you can add a loan on top of that loan and continue to use it. But that product is not available now. So if you want to take another loan, you will request for the loan. We will process the approval. Once the approval is ready, before we give the loan to you, we will expect you to liquidate the one that is running. So in other words, you must have money set aside to repay the third installment, like you said, and which is the final installment for you. And then the new loan can be granted. The new loan will be disbursed to you. But you won't have to pay, and then you continue to wait until the new loan is ready. We will have processed the new loan. The approval will have been ready. So your repayment and disbursement of the new loan will not take more than a day or two interval. Thank you very much. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you. So I would go ahead and British Ivy Schools. You've been asked to unmute.
Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Chinwe. I'm from British Ivy Schools. I actually sent in a chat, but apparently, I think probably you skipped it. You didn't say it. My question, I sent it in. My question is this. I just want to know why you have to insist on guarantors for your school loans when schools can actually use their assets, I mean, as a collateral if need be, because some of the schools, sometimes it's a bit difficult for some of us who have not really been around here for a while to actually get people to be our guarantors. And when you have assets, when you have things that are actually worth much more than what you're actually looking for, I find it a bit, I mean, it's been a bit of a challenge for me, basically, personally. I don't know if any other person is actually having that sort of problem. So that's the question I wanted to ask. But before I go off, I just want to say thank you to Accion Bank. They've been quite nice to us. They've been quite supportive. I have a very wonderful branch manager and account manager. They've been so helpful, but this is just the only challenge I've been having. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam, for the nice compliments. And I'm just wondering whether it's because besides a lady, that's why she's given the opportunity to only women. But I'm not jealous. So thank you, British Ivy Schools. That is, your question is key. It's actually also affected quite a number of customers, not just for the school or for the business, because we have people who think they want to run their life very privately without involving third parties. And they think they're sufficient to do their business at that level, because when you want a guarantor, what it means is that the guarantor wants to know what you need a loan for and stuff like that. So that's quite a number of people are also desirous of a change or a paradigm shift from that. The reason why we did that is because the microfinance business attains mostly to the people at the bottom of the pyramid. And most times, the asset coverage for loans, when I mean asset coverage, what they intend to pledge as security for loan is not sufficient to cover the amount. So the guarantor is to help as a buffer so that nobody is cut off from financial inclusion and nobody is cut off from access to credit. And you will see that people and customers in your category that are able to provide all that is required to secure the loan are just about 10% of the total customer base that we serve. So that policy will still be there, but we're taking an exceptional look in some cases. It's been discussed at the board level, and we will, by January, come up with a position paper on that, which will be favorable to people in your category. I mean, what it means is that what's going to happen is that we're just going to be more flexible and relate to our customers as persons and not just strictly on a product line. I want to thank you for your patronage. I'm happy with the feedback about your branch. And please, we're working 24 hours to make sure we improve our service delivery and how we communicate our loan approval to our customers. Thank you so much. So by January, you will definitely see improvement in that process.
Thank you very much. So I have to make a conscious effort to look for the men. So just give me a few seconds. Adejari John. Thank you, Accion, for supporting Better Land Schools, E4. Then that's a comment from Adejari John. And then we've also dropped our contact center details in the chat box. If we feel that we've not been able to satisfactorily answer some of your questions, please send a detailed email, or you can call us at, using any of those numbers that we have. We've dropped it in the chat box. Please pick up the number from there. Thank you very much. So let me go ahead and unmute, okay, a man, Tunji, okay. Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
yes,
sir.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, can you hear me, please?
We can hear you.
Can I hear you?
Okay, thank you very much. I want to sincerely appreciate the efforts of Accion Microfinance Bank. I've been banking with you for a while, since the inception of my school, Rhapsody Modern Nursery and Primary School in Ijego, since 2016. When others rejected us, Accion Bank accepted us. And it's been a very wonderful experience with Accion Bank. I sincerely appreciate that. And I appreciate the incoming of the new MD that took over from Mrs. Lawson. This initiative is very, very wonderful and it's going a long way. Now, the question I want to ask is this: where one of the accounting officers of my account officers in Accion, told me that while a current loan is going on, the bank can also facilitate the development of a new building for the school. The school presently is operating in my own personal building, which I have relinquished, for the school. But we have also been able to acquire a new property, and we want to start development. So I want to know if this is true and if Accion will be able to help us, to start this structure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tunji Ijaola. Thank you very much. Yes, the answer to the question is yes, and yes, we can do it. And we've done it to several customers. Once you have the property, you can reach out to your branch, and then the second part of the question is, can it run concurrently with your school loan? Yes, it can also run concurrently with your school loan. So please just go to your branch. They will assess the building, and then we will take it from there. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you for the goodwill message. We do sincerely appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. So we just want to take a quick break. Before we take that break, actually, if you notice in the chat box, we have a Google form there that we just dropped. Please fill that form. We're going to use that form to update your information in our database. So correctly fill your full name as you have it with us. Then we want to know your account number as well. So your full name, your account number, your telephone number that is registered with us, and any other information. So if you have, yes, email is there. So email is there. So there's your full name, there's your account number, there's your phone number, there's your email, and there's a place for comments or suggestions and all that. So please take time out to fill that form. It's really important that we have your details with us. Okay, so before we, the quick break I mentioned is just before we get to the end of today's session. It's actually been very, very interactive and exciting. So thank you so much for sharing your comments, your feedback, your suggestions. They're really, really important to us. And we assure you that we'll take back your feedback and then we'll come back to you with a better way to serve you. So we'll just kindly ask that you indulge us to put on your camera if you have not done so already. We would like to take a very quick virtual picture. So just for like a minute.
So please kindly put on your camera for us to take the picture. We would like to see your face. Debbie School, Mr. Yinka, please put on your camera. Thank you.
Okay, so just give a couple more seconds for everybody to have their video up, please.
While we're doing that, I read a question that can Accion help someone who probably is doing school business and wants to go into supermarket business? Can Accion help that person to start a supermarket business? Unfortunately, if it's a new business venture that you are going into, we may not be able to help immediately. Because we want you to use your equity to start a business so that you are not under any pressure and you're not under any undue challenge to want to repay loan. We encourage people who want to start business to start small. So your supermarket business, we encourage you to go ahead and start, but please start small. And if you have done it for a couple of months or a year, and you need money to expand the business, Accion will gladly give you money to expand the business. But we don't give money, we don't give loans for startup. Unfortunately, we don't. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I guess we're ready. So admin up, we're ready. Okay, so we'll do a quick countdown. So I'll do it from 5 down. So when I get to 1, we'll take a screenshot. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Say cheese.
Cheese.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Fisai, 1 minute, Fisai, please. I read an interesting chart here. Mr. Patrick Mbara, please drop your details. I'd like to get in touch with you. You said your school accepts bottles, plastic bottles for school fees. That's quite innovative. And that's really, really reaching out to the poor. That really touches me. I'd like to have a discussion with you. We'd like to host you in one of our webinars to say what you're doing, how you're doing this. And with that comment alone, you just won a book from me. And I'm going to send that book to you. I'm so excited, super excited that you're making waves for poor children. And, and that's quite innovative. Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. We'll get in touch with you. We'd like to have you on our webinar so that you can discuss. And if there is any school that we finance that has done something different to alleviate the suffering of their students, please let us know. Let us know. We'd like to recognize you. Thank you so much.
Well done, Mr. Patrick. Well done. We're so proud of you. Please drop your, okay, yes, I can see that. Could you please drop your details, your phone number? I would speak to you today or tomorrow. Thank you so much. So we are gradually coming to the end of the session. I know we have so many questions, and unfortunately, we might not be able to take all the questions. That's why we've dropped that link there. It's a form, it's a detailed form. Please fill your full name, your correct name, your account number, your telephone number, your email, and the comment suggestions or the issues that you have. Please, it's really, really important. It's in the chat box. Thank you very much. So the MD has said Mr. Patrick has won a free book. Others have also won a free book as well. So we have 6 winners. We would get the names of the winners, and they would ensure that we send their special prize to them. Thank you very, very much. So I think we still have, MD, we still have time to take maybe like 2 more before we go to closing remarks and poll. Okay, all right, thank you. Just a second, please. So I think I have to look for a female now. We've had like 2 male. Anike, you've been asked to unmute, please.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay. Heinz from River Valley, Otutubeka. Thank you. Welcome to Accion Bank. Thank you very much for, helping us through. Thank you all the time. But please, I would like to place a suggestion, or it's actually my complaint. I took some money. So after which I did, I I think my officer at that then, she wasn't well trained in the job. I'm sorry to use that language because she gave me a lot of issues. Today she would say something else, tomorrow something else. At the end of the day, the chairman of the branch had to take over my process. He had to take it over and tell us feedback. So after the whole thing, I didn't get a proper information. But I told her it's my first time. So I told her if I could pay up before my deadline, the time I was given, she said it's fine. So I tried to, but she didn't tell me I have to pay these at the first quarter, second, and all until just a day she called me and like you have not paid the first quarter. I'm like, what do you mean first quarter and all? So she had to explain well to me and all of that. I said, I didn't get this information, and the chairman can also bear me witness. I didn't get the necessary information, so they apologized and all. Fine. I tried to make some payments. I paid some before the lockdown. I didn't pay everything I was supposed to pay in payment before the lockdown came. So my thing now is this. For each payment I make, I don't get the breakdown of what I've paid, what I need to pay off, and the period of time I still have to pay off. So I don't get proper information from them. Then I get to receive calls from different people. At the time, I had somebody calling me for the BVN. You know, I had to call the bank. They said I shouldn't acknowledge the call and all of that. So I received calls from different people from the bank. Am I not supposed to be to have somebody to work with? Am I not supposed to have somebody to work with? There is sometimes when you ask them this information, they tell you, you know, I don't know. I will tell somebody to sort it out. Okay, somebody came to my school, to the office. Oh, he is my manager. He would get back to me on the information I asked for. He didn't get back to me. So these things bother me a lot. You know, when I make so payments, it helps me when I know this is what I need to pay next. I think there should be a form of alert or information message. Oh, you have paid so. You need to pay so before the time, before so time. But I don't know. I just get call from any corner like, don't you know you need to pay this? Do you know? Please, I don't know if you guys can work on it, but all the same, I say well done for the wonderful jobs you're doing. Well done, because I know it's not easy, you know, doing all these things, but I say well done. Thank you. That's my message.
Thank you very much, Mr. Niketa. That really made me sad hearing that comment, because I thought we had gone beyond that as an organization. And it's really a shame for me that we hear such a comment. I can imagine the kind of trouble that we've taken you through, because these things are pretty spelled out. So even before the day you're getting your loan, there should be a schedule of repayment attached to it. And that schedule of repayment just tells you when your loan is due, how you're going to pay, and the dates you're going to pay. I know that there are a lot of fraudulent activities going on and people asking for information about your BDN, your account number, and your account details. Please, that call never emanates from us in Accion Microfinance Bank. Don't honor such calls. Don't. Please, they are fraudsters. They're just rolling around trying to hack into customers' account to steal the money. Please don't. But on the issue of the loan, if you have a biro, I'd like to quickly give you a number. I'd like to quickly give you a number. The number is 0705 557 3090. 0705 557 3090. Her name is Tokumbo Elliott, Mrs. Elliott, Tokumbo Elliott. She is in charge of special products, including schools. And it would be nice if you just text your own number and name to her, and she will reach out to you today, and all these issues will be resolved. There's clearly a communication gap, and we take responsibility that the person that attended to you was not duly grounded in the process, because this is not usually us. You should have all information you require before loan is disbursed to you. Now, why the loan, school loan, is different from every other loan, it's not necessarily because of the quarterly repayment. It's not just about quarterly repayment. It's about linking the repayment to school terms. So when school, we know that most children pay termly. Yes. So it is when they are resuming in school that we link the repayment so that it will not be a burden to school owners. So it is linked to beginning of school terms so that repayment can be made easy. So I apologize again. Our Mrs. Tokumbo Elliott will explain this further, and we tidy that up. So please do accept our apology for the frustration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, MD. In order for us to ensure that all your complaints are resolved smoothly, please fill the Google form. Please, it's really important that we fill the Google form. And Nikki, even if you're still going to reach out and call the number, please still ensure that you fill that form, because we're going to be following up to ensure that all the issues are resolved. And we're going to give a report to the MD. So please fill the Google form. I'll ask the admin team to drop it again. It's there. Please fill it, your full name, your account details, the branch, your email, then the comments or the recommendations that you have. Please kindly ensure that we all fill the form. Thank you very much. So we're gradually coming to the end of the session. It's been very, very exciting and engaging. Do you want to say?
Sorry, before we leave, we've asked you to fill a Google form on this platform that requires for your name, your email address. So, sir, maybe you need to know. There, cool. So we've asked you to fill a Google form that requires for your mail, your name, email address, and phone number and account number. Please, after this, if you get a call from anybody, because quite a number of people could have joined this call, asking you for the same information on a phone, and that person is not your account officer, please don't oblige that information. Why we don't want you to drop it on the chat and we want you to fill it into the Google form is because when you fill it into the Google form, we receive it directly. But when you're dropping it in a chat, everybody is seeing it. We will rather you use the Google form so that your whatever information you're giving us is secure. That's very important. Then there is a question I want to quickly respond to. Somebody said that school terms is now 4 months, not 3 months, that we need to please look at that, that it's every 4 months. So I have taken that comment, we will review it, and then if there's a need for us to adjust the product appropriately to that, we will do it. Thank you very much for that observation.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, MD. Okay, so we are going to, like I mentioned at the beginning, if you joined us late or you had connection issues, not to worry, we're recording this session and then we're going to host it on the website. The link to access the session will be sent directly to you via email. So it's really important that Google form, please. It's really, really important. So at the beginning of the session, we had a first poll question where we asked you certain questions. This is the second one. This is also about maybe 5, 7 questions as well. Kindly fill it. We want to know how you found out about this session. Did you receive any SMS from us? Was there an account officer that told you to come for the session? Please fill it. We also want to find out if you're aware of some of the Brighter Loan and e-channels. I mentioned that earlier. I can just quickly go through it. I mentioned that we have a digital Brighter Loan, which is a loan that gives you access to 150,000 naira at the convenience of your home or your shop. So basically what that means is you don't have to physically come to the branch or go through an account officer to access 150, between 50,000 and 150,000. You can just go to the bank's mobile app or ibank at actionmfb.com or 572 to apply for that loan. So that's the Brighter Loan. I also talked about our revamped Accion Microfinance Bank mobile app. It can be downloaded the Google Play Store, and it gives you access to do certain transactions without leaving the comfort of your shop. So you don't have to miss your customers. You can be in your shop and then transfer funds, pay bills, transfer money to your children, buy credits, so many things that you can do at that convenience. So you don't have to miss anything from your shop. We also mentioned, I mentioned in the beginning that we've had this Konnect series since the beginning of the year, and we've had over 14 episodes. So we want to know if you've been able to join any of those last webinars. Have you been able to join the first one, number 1 to 2 or 3 to 5? And we want to know if they've been helpful to you, meaning that you've joined these webinars and the sessions, the virtual ones, have you gained anything that has helped you to improve your life or your business? Please let us know. It's really important that you share this feedback with us so we can know your pain points and how better you want us to serve you. We also want to know where your branch is domiciled. Are you from Lagos, from the north, east, south? So please just click whichever one is appropriate to you. And then we also want to find out, did the session with the MD meet your expectation? There were certain expectations that you had when you were coming for this session. So they did meet the expectation. And then also we want to find out if Accion has been supportive during the pandemic. And we want you to rate our account officer customer relationship skill. We've gotten a lot of good feedback and the bad one. So the bad one are also important to us because it tells us what we need to do better. So we need to know how the account officers are treating you and if they need to improve. So please be very honest, because if you don't get the accurate information, we cannot improve on our products and services. Thank you very, very much. So we have over 130 people still on the call, but we've only have about 30 or 33% of people that have taken the poll. So please take the poll, click it's on the screen, just click whichever answer is most appropriate to you. And we also want to know, this session, did you really enjoy it that well? How often do you want to have this session with the MD? Do you want us to do a monthly webinar? Do you want us to do a quarterly webinar or twice a year? Please, so let us know which one will be convenient for you. Your feedback is extremely important to us. And then finally, we want you to read the bank's customer service. How do you think we've fared? Have we been poor? Can we improve? Are we excellent? Are we very good? Please be very honest with us so we can actually improve our products and services. Thank you so much for taking time out to join us. I mentioned earlier, the bank is very active on all social media platforms. If you're not following us, please begin to follow us. We give out freebies, airtime, recharge cards a number of times. So please follow us. We're on Facebook at Accion Microfinance Bank. We're on Instagram at Accion Microfinance Bank. Very active on Twitter as well. And then LinkedIn at Accion Microfinance Bank. Please follow us in all those channels. Again, the link is available. Please click the link and provide your full details, and then we will get someone to follow up and ensure that those complaints are closed very, very promptly. Thank you so much for taking time out to join us. So before we go, I'd like to introduce us to one of our management staff. We have all our management staff on this call as well. But I'd like to take time out to introduce us to our Chief Commercial Officer in person of Mr. Ndubisi Onoa. He would be taking the closing remarks. Before he joins us, please ensure that you fill the Google form and remember not to share your personal details, your account number, your PIN, your CCV number, BVN, or any other private information with unknown personnel. Accion Microfinance Bank will not ask you for this personal details via the telephone or email. So if you've received such information or email or SMS or communication, please escalate to your account officer or to your branch manager immediately. And if you still have any complaints, please send us a DM on social media. All the complaints come directly to the head office, so we would ensure that they are quickly and promptly resolved. Another one, I would like to quickly call out the names of the winners of the books. Just give me a second, please. I hope the CCO I can see he's online. I hope he's getting ready. So I'll just like to quickly call Mr. Patrick, of course, got one. That one is an executive order. So we've gotten your details. We'll reach out to you by the weekend or first thing Monday morning. Well done on what you're doing again. So the first 5 attendees, we have Sage Academy. If you're still online, you can just drop a yay or whatever comment you want in the chat box. We have Olufemi Folorunsho, and then we have Kimi Layefa Jimmy. We have Happy Mama, and then we have Ecod Patricia. So very exciting. So thank you guys for taking time out. You've won 5 books, free books, and we will ensure that we send them to you. We're encouraging you for being the first set of people to join the session online. Thank you very much. So I'll just take the names very quickly. Tolu Heritage Academy, Olufemi Folorunsho, Kimi Laye Fajimi, Happy Mama, and Accord Patricia. Thank you so much. You've won 3 books. We hope you enjoy those books. Thank you very much. CCO. Can we ask the tech team to mute him, please? I've actually asked you to unmute, Cecile.
Okay, thank you very much, Josiah, for a very wonderful hosting. Our dearly esteemed customers, I want to thank you for taking time out to join us in this session, and also to very frankly express your views, your concerns, your pain points, and your comments. That shows us clearly, that you are committed to this Accion brand, and we're indeed very happy with that. I also want to thank the MD for giving top priority to this session, despite all his commitments, and for taking all the questions that were asked. That also on our part shows, how we treasure our school customers. We indeed treasure you. And we have taken note of your comments, taken note of your concerns. We are going to reach so many of you. Obodo Beauty, Mr. Obodo Beauty, I'm going to call you. Anike Taiwo, Tokumbo is going to reach you. And to all customers that have expressed different issues today, we are going to walk through the branches to make sure that we deal with all the issues raised. And like you heard from Pisayo, this session is going to happen more often. And the MD has also promised a free training. Sure, it will be sometime next year, where we'll get a subject matter expert, to take you through on the issues that normally affect schools. So once more, I want to welcome you for coming, and I want to assure you that we are all the way with you. We are going to continue to get closer to you, and feel free to escalate any issues. If you are not fairly treated in branches, feel free. Many school owners have called me. I didn't bother to say, how did I get my number is even on our website, it's very free. So for every time you don't feel satisfied with what is happening in the branches, pick up your phone, call Tokumbo Elliott, call me. You can even send a chat to our MD, because we are committed to ensuring you are fine with us. So once more, I thank you, and I wish you a very Merry Christmas, despite the effects of the pandemic. At least we are still here, and I'm hopeful that it's going to be a much better next year for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Cecile. Thank you, everyone, for taking time out to join us. We're really excited. You guys made my morning. It was very interactive and engaging. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to fill the Google form. And then we do hope that next time we invite you, you would actually take time out to join us. Thank you so much. Patrick, well done. I see you tumbling in the chat box. Patricia, Bumi, Anike Taiwo, Angela, Mr. Patrick, Professor Astrop, thank you so much. We see you for taking time out to join us. Thank you very much. Compliments of the season, and have a very safe and lovely weekend. Thank you very much. Bye.
Jiri ni Accion Bank wee kwụ ụgwọ ọkụ unu. Piano star 572 ash.
Yalla na kauna Allah ka turo mu kudi akan Accion Bank dina.
Má ṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́, ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ star 572 ash lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank, my future is bright.
Ní tòótọ́, ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáǹtì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi?
Ina son iya karɓar kuɗin Accion Bank na yi amfani kai ƙara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank ń kọ́ra ní ATM card.
No need to stress, I no need the stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I deal with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make it life better. With shaking the money, you fit open account. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get it loan to grow your business well. My future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, with Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, with Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion, with Accion, oh. My future is bright, oh. It's bright, oh.
Accion Microfinance Bank, my future is bright.
Accion.